Thank you so much for deciding to join me today. Please relax for a minute. Chill back because what I'm about to show is one of the most mind blowing things ever. So make yourself feel cozy, please. Many times we blame ourselves for laying inside our bed instead of doing something meaningful in our lives instead of actually living life. Let's say you get back from work or school or you're unemployed and like everything to do now, every simple thing you could do now seems kind of meaningless, like this is boring or empty. Yeah, that's dopamine levels. But I laugh. I'm so obsessed with exploring our feelings, thoughts, emotions, life through neuroscience, etc. Why? Because I was basically 100%, 99.999% sure I will unalive myself for multiple years. And after I healed from it, I mean, sometimes it takes years to heal from depression, I started getting interested in how the brain works. Because if I told you that people who unalive themselves, it wasn't their fault, it's 100% true. It's not their fault. And what if I told you that every single decision you make in your life is, to some degree, affected by dopamine? Now, some decisions you do in your life are almost 100% affected by dopamine. Some are affected by dopamine by a lower chance. But I'm going to list some fun facts that I could say billions of words about it. I could talk about it for 10 hours because my mind is frozen from it. But I think the best thing I can do right now is to, share them. So the first thing I would mention is dopamine creates the want, not the like. Dopamine doesn't make you enjoy things, it solely forces the burning desire to go get them. So the first fun fact is it hoards your energy. Let's say if your dopamine is low, your brain literally calculates that standing up, for example, is too expensive and paralyzes you. Or going to make a coffee and sit outside is too expensive. Or going outside, or for example, getting a sort of movement is expensive and paralyzes you. Isn't that mind bending? Like we always feel so guilty and disgusting about ourselves. And then we look at dopamine. Now I'm going to mention nicotine pouches, chewing tobacco, etc. Let's say someone is a heavy user of chewing nicotine. So they use the nicotine pouch and suddenly they feel this huge boost inside their own head. Then they spit out the nicotine pouch and their brain suddenly decides the project they were just excited about is completely boring, or they wanted to do 20 things they were excited about that day and it was completely boring. Now the reason why I'm talking about it in the third person, because I don't want to say that you are a nicotine addict if you're not. Let's say you are talking with someone, but your dopamine is lower. You are more likely to check your phone during a live conversation, even with someone you care about. Now, I think the best thing would be to mention some things, and compare when you are low on dopamine versus when you are high on dopamine. When you are low dopamine, when it comes to productivity, you might clean your entire desk, organize files, or do something boring and empty just to avoid starting the actual project. Now, I didn't say that cleaning is boring or empty. I just said it as another thing. High dopamine, you open the blank document and log into deep, high effort work for hours. When it comes to entertainment, when you are low on dopamine, you endlessly scroll short clips, closing and reopening apps without watching anything. When you are high on dopamine, you sit down and watch a complex 2-hour movie without looking at your phone once. Physical movement. When you're low on dopamine, you stare at the wall instead of getting up for water or for food. When you are high on dopamine, you instantly jump out of the bed and you go for a run or a ride or just go somewhere. Social interaction. When you're low on dopamine, you may ignore text messages because replying feels exhausting. When you're high on dopamine, You can walk into a crowded room, initiate conversations, and command the space naturally. Now, even the mood. When you're high on dopamine, the mood completely changes. It feels like the things that are awaiting you are just more alive. Like the world feels more alive, more in your skin, more in your. The colors are right, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, Now, nutrition and vices. When you're low on dopamine, you might reach for a nicotine pouch, sugar, fast food, anything to force a cheap emergency spike. When you're high on dopamine, you might crave a healthy meal from scratch completely, unbothered by delayed gratification, or you might crave starting to live healthily and learning. When you're low on dopamine, you skim headlines and abandon articles after two sentences because the text feels heavy. When you are high on dopamine, you deep dive into a complex topic until 3 a.m., treating random data like survival gold. Basically, dopamine literally sets your baseline. And I could continue for 10 hours straight, but I just really wanted to share this with. It was really on my heart because I really wanted to, share this to you because I thought it's important and it just describes so much about our own life. Like, it just says so much about our life, and I could continue with examples for 10 hours straight, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for your precious time here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed hanging out with you, and I'm so grateful I could share this to you. Feel free to hang out with me even more in other videos and explore our feelings, thoughts, happiness, life, etc. But absolutely no pressure, any mind blowing things. Take care, especially take care, and I can wait to catch you soon.